Hey, welcome back. I'm Mark Anderson, and this is Business on the Run with Mark Anderson. Today, I have with me Sasha Costa from Grit Realty, powered by Keller Williams. So, Sasha, welcome to Business on the Run. I'm super excited to have you here. You and I have been friends for, gosh, it's almost 10 years now.
Yeah,
So,
long time.
it's been really exciting to be in the small business community here in Pearland. And I guess, you know, I know a lot about you,
Right.
obviously, but tell us about you and Keller Williams and just
Yeah, appreciate that, Mark. Been with Keller Williams now for about 4 years. Started Grit Realty back in 2010. And mainly I started Grit Realty because I was investing in real estate. I won't go back too far, but started in real estate in 2008 and bought some rent houses, cashed in a 401k, bought some rent houses. Everybody thought I was crazy, but everybody's 401k at that time became a 201k because that's when the market was crashing. So I looked like a genius, but I was just lucky, to be honest with you. And then after that, just got into real estate. Then we started Grit Realty in 2010 solely because we wanted to invest in real estate. And then we ended up building a team. And then now we're with Keller Williams, and I'm the commercial director and also run a group that does residential real estate. So it's been great. It's been a great run. We're continuing to grow. This year feels like it's going to be fantastic.
good,
Yeah.
good. Do you want to tell any of the details behind some of that journey? Hey, this might be a little personal,
Yeah.
but you and Greta,
Yeah.
your ex, you guys started it together, right?
Yeah. So my ex-wife and I, we started Grit Realty together. And the way it worked was Greta was she would list the houses, right? I would go find houses that I would buy, fix, and then the investment side of things. And then she was the listing side of things. And that's kind of how we started. We just wanted to go buy houses, flip them, and sell them.
You were the marketer.
I was the marketer.
You were the salesperson.
Exactly. So it was great. And we did that for a long time. And then the team kept on growing, especially because we worked a lot of people over at Ellington Field as veterans. We attracted a lot of veterans also. So we had a lot of veterans on our team. They wanted to do real estate as well. And we continue to do so. I have police officers and veterans that are part of Grit Realty right now.
Tell me more about. There was a point in that story where you originally, when you back in the days with Greta, you didn't have your real estate license,
Right.
correct? So tell us a little about that transition, and not only that, but also how you started to work in commercial real estate into the business.
Yeah. So I don't mind talking about this at all. But what happened was, as everyone that knows me, I got divorced. And my ex-wife.
Been there,
at the
done
time-
that.
Yeah, it's not fun.
No.
But it's part of life, and you just have to
Sure.
be positive about it and move forward. So my ex-wife was the realtor, right? I was the investment side of things. I was the marketing side of things. And then after the divorce, she moved to Ohio and left me with a team of real estate agents that I couldn't do anything with unless I was licensed. So I quickly got licensed and moved the team
I
over.
remember when you were studying.
Yeah. So went through it as fast as I could, got the team over to, now we're over at Keller Williams. And then while in Keller Williams, I had some really great opportunities. As part of being in Pearland for so long, I've been in Pearland now, side note, for almost 28 years.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's amazing. And serving at the Chamber of Commerce and just getting to know so many people there, I got to know a lot of people that needed help with commercial real estate as well, businesses, individuals. And so that's how I think my commercial side of things started, just knowing the people that are business owners and large and small businesses that needed help. And the more I got involved with them, the more I learned.
Sure.
And I was able to help some individuals buy businesses and move their businesses into Pearland from Ohio and other places. So that's how I got started. And it just moved fast after that. And now I'm the commercial director for Keller Williams Preferred here in Pearland.
So here's what I'd like to know more about is, it used to just be Grit.
Yeah.
Right. And then tell us about that transition to getting Keller Williams to be part of that process.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. So when Grit Realty operated by itself as a boutique company, there's a lot that lacks. And I think this is going to become a Keller Williams commercial here. I don't mean to become a Keller Williams commercial, but it's true. So what happens is I had a lot of support through Keller Williams. And they helped me train my team. They had a lot of back-end support. CRMs and all kinds of things where you could contact with your clients. So because of that, it made my life easier. I was able to be more efficient. So I leveraged that efficiency that Keller Williams provided to grow. That's what it was.
So they had the infrastructure that
They had
helped
the
you.
infrastructure that I needed. Yeah.
You've helped me with some transactions too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Why don't you do a little bit of self-promotion? I mean, I'm a great example. I want to say that with the places that you sold for us, they were on the market for how many days? One.
We sold your house in one day.
And
then you bought a house.
well, my wife's house too,
right.
though, right?
So-
both those transactions took place in one single day. We had contracts in a day,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah.
I like to say that I'm to blame for being that great, but maybe we got a little lucky. I don't know. But
Market was pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah. Also a commercial property too, right?
right. So
Yeah.
I love the fact that we were able to help you with the commercial property. You bought a building that you now rent the building out and make income from. So and leverage all the tax benefits that you can from owning a commercial building. So that was a great opportunity to do that for you because we're so close and to be able to see a friend leverage and gain from that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. What about the fitness side of things, right? I mean, I'm a big runner. We've run together a lot. Right? We've logged hundreds of miles together. Tell everybody about some of that.
So this is my favorite part of this show, right? This is where we talk about running. Mark and I, we went for some long runs, and he'll probably make fun of some of the things that happened during some of these runs. But and what happens is we start running and we get on it just becomes
Just great business conversation most of the time, right?
and people are just wowed by the fact that we run so much and we talk the entire time. We don't shut up. We just talk.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
And I think it's kind of one of those times where we just inflect into each other and we talk about business and life, and that's why I like it. It's business on the run, but it's also life on the run.
Yeah.
We talked about so many things, and I think we solved every problem in the world while we're running.
We may not be able to implement all the solutions associated with solving every problem in the world, but hey, it's a start, right?
But I love that you've taken, this thing that you and I started, which was just talking about business and life, and now you got this awesome podcast, Business on the Run.
So a little bit of backstory there, right? Let's fill in some gaps there because maybe they don't, some folks aren't going to understand some of that. But you and I originally thought we would put this Business on the Run podcast on together,
Right? Yeah.
And we never did really just bring it to fruition.
No, but it just sat there, right?
It did. It just sat there, and I always loved the name.
Yep.
I always loved the name, and I'll never forget this because. When I decided I was going to do a podcast, the first thing that I did was really I called you and I said, "Hey, I know we were going to do this thing together, but I want to make sure that you're good with me using this name, right?" And you were totally cool about it, and I love that about you. So,
but I did
thank you for that.
I best be on the podcast
Yes,
at least once.
and for clarity purposes, right? You are actually our very first guest.
I love it.
There are some other podcasts in the can that'll lead up to this, but you're the first guest. So,
All right, love it.
So that's
As it should be.
symbolic, right? It's the way it's supposed to be. But do you want to tell some of the funny stories about some of our running antics? So it's up to you.
All right, so we're running at which park was it?
Brazos Bend.
We're at Brazos Bend, and it's pitch dark. It was what, 5 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, it was early. Yeah.
And were we wearing headlamps?
We were wearing.
So we were wearing headlamps. It's dark. And I'm thinking the whole time, oh my gosh, there's snakes and alligators everywhere. And Mark just doesn't care. No. For some reason, he doesn't care if there's snakes and alligators. I care. So we're running through this dark area, and there's a bridge, right? And it's over the swampy area. And all of a sudden, as we're running over this thing, there's an alligator. And he hits the bridge with his tail, and it just goes pop. And I think, how long was that bridge?
I think you hit your head on a branch on the way up.
Maybe. And I think that bridge was about 10 feet long. And
something like
I
that.
may have covered the whole thing in one jump.
Yeah.
It scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, you could have won an Olympic long jump.
I could have.
And
And Mark,
move.
and this was probably, 5 years ago or more?
Yeah.
And I still get made fun of that every day.
Yeah. It's just a lot of fun. So. But getting back to some of our conversations, though, I feel like it's iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
We just have those conversations and we're trading ideas. And I think that's one of the neat things really having friendships with people outside of your industry, right? Is that, an idea from the accounting world is something that might be something that can, and just from a business perspective, translate into real estate world, right?
Right.
And vice versa. So,
And I want to go back to the iron sharpening iron thing, Mark. You talked about, so we've known each other for a long time, right? When we talk about business and life all the time. And you introduced me to a concept one time, I think it was called the hedgehog concept.
hedgehog, yeah.
Hedgehog, right? Because I tend to want to do everything,
Yeah.
right? So at one time I owned a media company, the Media Heroes. I owned a insurance company, real estate. I wanted to do everything possibly in real estate. And Mark would say, you have to focus. And talk a little bit about the hedgehog concept. What is it?
Sure. So, I mean, I'm going to be sure to give credit where credit is due here. Is, I'll just tell you one of my favorite books of all time, business books. I don't know. I don't read fiction, period. Right. I'm like, if I'm going to devote that kind of time and energy into actually reading something, I'm gonna read something that is gonna have some tangible benefit in my life.
I'm the
right.
same way.
My favorite book, my favorite business book of all times is Good to Great by Jim Collins. And he's by far my favorite author. In that book, he talks about the hedgehog concept. So what Jim Collins did was he did a study. I don't remember how many businesses it was at this point. It had to meet a certain criteria. It was not a statistical sample. He selectively chose the best businesses in industry for a very extended period of time. And then he compared them to another, I'm going to call them selected. I don't remember exactly how he arrived at it, but they were the mediocre ones, right? So same industry, but you've got a rocket ship compared to the ho-hum, right? And what he found was that those rocket ships that sustained their growth, they were focused in one area. And that's where the hedgehog concept comes from. And yeah, I mean, look, I got a lot of things going on with Know Your Numbers, but all of it is surrounding one central concept, and that's helping small business owners really keep their QuickBooks accounting going in the right direction and using their financial data to make data-driven decisions. Sure, I've got other things going on. I've got little things that I'm giving away here and there, like checklists and stuff. I've got an online course. I'm currently working on a school community. I've got a webinar that I'm doing. And so a lot of stuff, but the central theme of the entire thing is helping small business owners. So,
and I know you're that focused, and going back to what I was saying, and that's what helped me. Us talking back and forth and sharpening ironing. And so I gave up the media company. What did I do with it? I leveraged the media company to help my real estate company. That's all I use it for. The insurance totally gave up because that was outside the scope, so it didn't meet what I was trying to do. And Grit Realty grew over 300% once we did that.
It's awesome.
So and I think it's
the power of focus, right?
The power of focus, and I think that's based on all the conversations you and I had, and just making sure that I stay focused and doing the things. So
it's hard though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to give up things that you think are fun sometimes, but just because it's fun, it doesn't mean it's actually meeting what you need to do.
I think the main lesson to a lot of that, and you tell me if you agree with me or disagree with me, focusing on that helps you become better at that specific thing. Because if you spread yourself too thin into too many different areas, you just end up being mediocre at all of them, right?
100% true. So the things I focus on the most: fitness, diet, and the business. Right? And then there's also, your personal things that you have to focus on. But those are, I think, as long as you're fit, diet as well, you can focus on what you want to do on as far as business or personal. But we're talking about business right now. So as long as I'm healthy and I'm able to move forward, it just helps me with that focus. And I think that's part of the stuff that we do while we're running and talking about these things.
Sure. You can't really compartmentalize your life exclusively to one area, right? I like to think of it like the Venn diagrams, right? Where, you have your business life, your fitness, your personal relationships, and maybe depending on who you are, your spirituality and that sort of thing. There's always going to be overlap. If things aren't going well with your business, you could end up having financial problems that affect your personal life and marriage and that sort of thing. And if things aren't working well in your marriage, you may be having more difficulties with your business, or maybe you don't want to go work out when you should and stuff like that.
Let me ask you this. What do you see? It's your podcast, and I'm asking you questions.
It's okay. Fire away.
By doing this podcast
Yep.
and by doing all the media things that you've been doing, because we're talking about ads and those types of things, and I'm asking this because I want to learn from you so I can do it well on my side too. How do you see this helping you grow your business and what you do?
The podcast?
The podcast, and then
that's a great question. And I am by far not an expert. So if you're trying to learn from me in this area, you're probably making a mistake.
So far?
But I'm wanting to. This is the vehicle to expanding our reach, right? And one of the things that I learned early on in my business was, once I reached the capacity that I was able to service clients with, I got capped out. And then I'm looking around going, well, there are so many other small business owners, not only here in the Pearland area, but the entire nation, because we have clients really across the United States.
Right.
But I couldn't serve them with just my time. So in an effort to try to expand our reach, that's one of the things that we're trying to do with this. I did a video here not too long. Actually, I did it Saturday when I was out doing a run out at Brazos without you. Yeah. But you wouldn't have come because I went too far.
Yes, you did.
But I did a video kind of announcing the podcast, and I know one of the things that I said was, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, there's no way I'm ever going to listen to this guy's podcast because he's talking about accounting
while running,
right? Yeah. First of all, it's not about accounting. It's about business. It's about life. It's about fitness. It's about just life in general. But wherever the conversation takes us, right? Hopefully that answers that question.
It does. Like little shiny squirrel moment here.
Yeah.
When you talk about life and other things, I remember on our runs, we even talked about stuff like coffee. What kind of coffee do you like? Yeah. And then you talked about putting butter in your coffee.
I do. Right? That one doesn't have butter, but I do. I put butter in my coffee. I love it. It's called Bulletproof Coffee. If you've never heard of it, gosh, I forget who invented it, but if you've never tried,
it's just one of those quirky, funny things that we talk about everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe what we should do here is, besides the podcast, we might just start a running group that talks about business while we're going running.
Hey, we can do that. There's something it was at the tip of my mind, and I just forgot what it was. But our kids.
Yes.
Tell everybody about Nico.
I am. I'm so proud of Nico. So Nico turned 20 last September. September. He just finished his first year of college. And he's like, Dad, with AI and all these things, I'm not sure what to do for a college degree. I'm concerned about, basically, he's like, Dad, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Things are moving too fast. What should I do? And I was like, son, let's take a trip together. So we took a trip and we start researching. And he lives in Ohio with his mom. And we're like, you know what? Your school has a great program for airline pilots. And they will take you from A through Z, where you become a student pilot. They'll take you through the different instruments, to the different levels of planes that you fly, all the way to helping you find employment as an airline pilot. And here's the best part. I went and I looked and I saw how much airline pilots make. And I'm like, son, you may want to look into this.
Yeah.
So not only is Nico going to school right now to become an airline pilot, a commercial pilot, he's also getting his real estate license.
Oh, nice.
So his mother is a broker in Ohio. Sure. And by the way, his mother and I have a great relationship, okay? If you're watching this, I just want you to make sure that, divorce sucks, but at the end of the things, we have a great relationship, and she's a real estate broker in Ohio. And Nico is also getting his real estate license in Ohio. And I was like, son, imagine this. You're working as a pilot. Pilots can only fly a certain amount of hours legally, okay, because they need rest. And I go, you would have enough time to invest in real estate, and you could become your own client, and if you have your own license, think about this. This is beautiful. And then he's like, Dad, that's a great idea. And then we start talking about commercial real estate and all you could do. And all of a sudden, everything just comes together. And he was like, this is awesome. So he started his school. He's just talked to him this morning, and we talk every day, which is just great. And for you guys watching this, talking about life, sometimes things don't go well. When I first got divorced, Nico and I didn't talk for a while, right? Things just got messy. And then slowly, you start getting together and together and together. And now we're best friends again.
That's awesome.
And
That's awesome.
it's just the most important thing in my life is to have that relationship with my son. And the fact that we figured out the path that he wanted to go. And the fact that some of it matches with the path that I am in, right, which is real estate and his mother. So everything just comes together. And as a veteran, I can actually use not my VA, but it's the Hazelwood Act. And I'm going to look into that to get my pilot's license as well.
Oh, wow.
So how cool would it be, to be flying with my son and also have a license?
So the interesting part of that whole story that I'm pulling out of that is, you mean he actually listened to you?
Well, at 20, he does.
It took him a little while, right?
Yeah. I think he. So now we're best friends.
I love that. That's awesome. I've got a great relationship with my son as well.
With Eric.
Due to his work, he's a U.S. Marine, as you know. I don't get to speak with him quite as often. I'll tell you just a funny story about that is I remember for his last promotion, I got the honor of actually being able to pin him at the. I didn't do one of those things, but I got to pin him. So when we did that, the entire family went up. My dad, my brother, my wife, and me. We all did an Airbnb that was literally within walking distance of the house that he was living in. So that was so cool. Anyway, we went to the mall in Syracuse, New York, which is where he was stationed at the time. Yeah. And we went to the Cheesecake Factory. And I remember I got up and I went to the restroom. And when I got back, everybody is just kind of chuckling and looking at me. I'm like, all right, they made a joke at my expense, I guess.
While you're going, absolutely.
Yeah. What ended up happening was it's really cute. Is the conversation came up, I guess, while I was away about our relationship, kind of the takeaways that he took. And basically, to make a long story short here, is the comment was, Dad was literally right about everything.
Oh, what a concept.
Right? Even when I was a teenager, he goes, I just have to admit it. He was right about everything. And
which just makes your heart feel good.
Yeah, it really made my heart feel good for sure. And so it's just kind of funny.
Awesome.
So anyway.
Yeah. You know what else I want to touch on, if that's okay with you?
Of course.
Dogs and tattoos.
Okay. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, since we're talking about Eric, let's talk about the tattoos.
Sure.
And then also from the tattoos, segue, I know you have a dog tattoo, so maybe we can segue from that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to talk about my very first tattoo first, because that really kind of dovetails in with Eric, right?
Right.
So, this is back when Eric was living at Camp Pendleton in California, which obviously I loved going to California. It's a lot easier to get to California when he lived there than to get to Syracuse. It was always like 12 to 14 hours of travel time because there's no directs to Syracuse. I mean, it is, it's a mess. My first tattoo, I'm sitting here doing all this kind of research. It's like, I know I'm going to do this really cool running tattoo. So I was doing everything from like finding like the chemical map of like adrenaline or maybe the heart rate, or, I even found like the tread of a shoe and doing stuff like that. Right. We had just had breakfast and we were trying to figure out what we're going to do next. And we were started to talk about going to do the tattoos because Eric was going to get one at the same time that I was. He was going to take me to his artist. Now, he's all tatted up. He's got Semper Fi stuff. I mean, all kinds of military tattoos on him and stuff like that. That was when he said that he was going to get a rose that said Dad on it.
Oh. If you don't get emotional,
so he blew my plans right out of the water, right? Because I was going to get this cool running tattoo.
Yeah.
So I actually right here have the exact same tattoo, but it says Eric on it.
So he has Dad, and you have Eric.
He has Dad. I have Eric.
That is really cool.
Yeah. And everybody here's that's listening is probably going, "There's no way this dude's got tattoos." But
Right.
right. I mean, accountant, come on, right? But three of them, got three of them. One of them is me and Trish, and she keeps badgering me about, "Hey, when are you going to put my picture on your body?"
Exactly.
Or when am I getting?
And because if you're listening to this by now, you know that Mark and I know each other really well. And Mark's got these huge calves from running. I think he can jump 10 feet up because he's just like, imagine Popeye with the forearms. He's got the calves.
Which ended up making a fantastic canvas for the tattoo artist.
Exactly.
So what I did was I took a picture of Branch and I running, and
Branch is Mark's first running dog.
First running dog.
Yeah.
So kind of a funny story about. I always wanted to have a running dog, a running buddy to go with me, no matter where I went.
And that's why I got Gideon also. We'll get there.
Yes, absolutely. But before that, I had a golden retriever named Rocky.
Yep.
But I remember taking Rocky for a run, and it was from there to Independence Park. It was about a 4-mile round trip.
Yeah. With a big old hairy golden retriever.
With a big old hairy golden retriever. And if you research golden retrievers, or maybe not golden retrievers, but running dogs, you'll find that actually golden retrievers are on the list of being excellent running dogs. Okay. I'm calling BS on that because the second time that I took Rocky out to go on a run, he ran with me all the way up till we got to the exit of the subdivision, and he laid down.
Oh.
He was like, I'm not going any further.
Yeah, I figured he probably jumped in a creek or something and just wanted to be in the water.
No, he was a fantastic swimmer, but he just decided I'm not doing this anymore. So that brings us to Gideon. Or sorry, not to Gideon, but to Branch and the tattoo, right? Branch was really my first running dog, right? And we before I got Gideon, we all ran together. I wanted something to commemorate my love of ultra racing, I guess, and also Branch, right? So basically, it's a picture of me kind of running into the sunset with Branch. Yeah. A picture of us from behind. Yeah. Anyway, but it's a full length from beginning to end. It was a 12-hour day to get that tattoo.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Where it was located, it was also very awkward just because of how I had to lay all the time. And it was rough. It
was a lot.
It was rough, yeah.
And another reason why I won't get a tattoo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of them, a couple hours, that's kind of easy. But man, this was a big piece.
Is a work of art. So I do hope that you can post this for everybody that's listening to this to watch later.
And then Gideon. Yeah. Why don't you start off with Gideon?
So same story, right? I wanted a dog. I was living by myself, and I wanted a running buddy. I wanted a dog that was just like a dude's dog. So I did a lot of research. And I came up with the Vizsla, right? And I have a friend, Rick Short. He's a dog trainer, great friend. I've known him for a long time. And he calls me and he goes, "Hey, I have a Vizsla for you." Super energetic, but he was in College Station, right? And he goes, "You have to come get it." So who do I call to come with me? Mark. Exactly. So Mark comes with me to get this dog. And we get there. We both fall in love with him. And he was just... Rick was training him, showing us how he had trained him, showing him all the commands, right? By the way, within a week, he already forgotten all those commands because I was not good at it like Rick. Life happens, and I move. And I move to the other side of town.
Well, before you get there, though, if you don't mind, let's rewind a little bit and let's talk about their first introduction.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Go ahead.
Before that happens... Sasha has this place with a nice pool in the back.
Yeah, that's right. So my house was huge, cul-de-sac.
It was such a beautiful, beautiful home. And
we can probably post this video on this podcast.
Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely.
So we have video of these dogs just tearing up that yard.
Oh, yeah. They are just having a blast. These two were the fastest friends that I think I've ever seen.
They become instant friends.
They went from sniffing noses and butts to tackling each other and rolling around within like 60 seconds. Yeah. It was so fun to watch. Yeah. I mean, the relationship and the bond they had was instant. It was instant. I've never seen anything like that between two dogs before. It was amazing.
So, and it's just interesting how it happened, right? Because I knew they were great friends. And I sold that house, and now I live in a high-rise. Not a good place to raise a Vizsla.
No.
Definitely not. So, Mark, you decided... We talked, and you took Gideon. So Gideon just came in. Now he's your dog.
Yeah.
And it just worked out perfectly. Yeah. They just assimilated into this pack.
Yeah.
And you have the 2 running dogs, and then you have Princess, which is Trisha's little dog.
Yep,
And
yep.
then you have 2 cats. So you have this zoo at your house.
Yep. Yep.
Plus, Calvin, this cool black cat. He's
he's
just
pretty
the
cool.
coolest.
Our
And
Halloween cat.
Your Halloween cat. And he's just friends with these dogs, and they're
Yeah.
just super cool with him too.
Yeah. Yeah. Not only that, you gave us Gideon on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So now it's so funny because now Trish gives me a hard time every Valentine's Day. Don't you dare get me another Vizsla.
Or a puppy, right? So I didn't realize it was on Valentine's Day. So Mark, last week on Valentine's Day, he texts me and he's like, "Hey, it's Valentine's Day." Or, and you gave me a dog. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I didn't realize I gave you a puppy for Valentine's. That's a joke.
He hasn't changed a bit either. We may be 3 years down the road, but he is still as much puppy today as he was back then.
And it's just funny seeing those 2 dogs because Gideon, he's just fast and, and agile. And then you have Branch, who's just fast and agile, but both in their different ways, right?
Yeah.
Because one's short and compact, and the other one's just long. So they both love to run long distances, but they both have their own little funny quirks when it comes to running.
So Trish actually showed me a video, something on Instagram, I think, where they were talking about the difference between a Vizsla and a GSP, right? German Short-Haired Pointer.
Yeah.
It was like when I saw this, it was like the Vizslas, they run to be with you.
Uh-huh.
So when I go run, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're like shadows. They want to be with you.
When Hurricane Beryl came through, he actually darted through the door to go with me when I just went to roam around outside, right in the middle of the storm, right? Yeah. It's at its worst, and he's walking around out there with me. Branch, on the other hand, he's curled up in a ball in the bathroom in an interior room, not wanting to go anywhere.
Yes.
But my point is that Vizslas run to be with you.
Yeah.
And GSPs run to run. That's all they care about.
Wow.
And it's one of the reasons I have a little bit of a hard time controlling him when it comes to running. He always wants to run way faster than I do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, then I guess, Sasha, that's really a great place to kind of wrap things up. Thank you so much for being a guest. And not only that, my first guest on Business on the Run with Mark Anderson. That's so awesome.
Love
so
it.
Cool. If people want to get in touch with you to buy or sell a house or even a commercial property, how can they reach out to you?
Yeah, no, thank you for asking. So the first thing you can do is look at our website, which is gritrealty.com, or you can call 833-GET-GRIT. I made it super easy. And just give us a call or look at our website. Email me at sasha@gritrealty.com if you have any questions, and that's how you can reach
You've
me.
got social media.
Yeah, we have social media.
Yeah.
I'm easy to find.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. Please go to our show notes so that you can follow us on social media and subscribe to our podcast. Until then, we'll talk to you next time.